In this session, we are going to discuss about Kirchhoff's law. He is a German physicist who developed laws. One is Kirchhoff's current law and second is Kirchhoff's voltage law. KCL is based on law of conservation of charges and KVL is based on law of conservation of energy. KCL states that in any circuit, the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a junction or a node is equal to 0. That means incoming current to a node is equal to the outgoing current from the node. Suppose we have node A. This is our node A. And this all represents the direction of incoming and outgoing currents. Okay. Let this be I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6. Then, according to Kirchhoff's current law, algebraic sum of these currents meeting at any node is always 0. Suppose we are assuming the direction of incoming current is positive, then the direction of the outgoing current be negative. This is based on law of conservation of charges. It states that node is neither constructive in nature nor destructive in nature. That means a charge cannot be accumulated at any node. That is, the incoming charge is equal to outgoing charge. Charge can't accumulate at any node. Okay, so here I1, I3 and I6 are incoming currents. That is, so we are assuming the current entering is positive and leaving is negative. So starting from here, I1 is incoming, I2 is outgoing, minus I2, I3 is incoming, plus I3, minus I4, minus I5, plus I6 is equal to 0. Okay, now we can write I1 plus I3 plus I6, that is equal to I2 plus I4 plus I5. That is, incoming current is equal to outgoing current. Okay, and we know that I is equal to dq by dt. So we can write I1 is dq1 by dt. That is the rate of change of charges with respect to time. I3 is equal to dq3 by dt plus dq6 by dt. That is equal to dq2 by dt plus dq4 by dt plus dq5 by dt. Okay, from this expression we can write q1 plus q3 plus q6, that is equal to q2 plus q4 plus q5. That is, incoming charges is equal to outgoing charges. That means charge cannot be accumulated at any node. That is the basic of Kirchhoff's current law. That is based on law of conservation of charges. Then Kirchhoff's voltage law. It is based on law of conservation of energy. So that means energy is conserved. That can neither be created nor be destroyed. And we know that the relation between voltage and energy is voltage is equal to dW by dQ. That is the work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to some point is the potential. Since W is conserved, V is also conserved. That means algebraic sum of the voltages across each element in a closed path or in a loop is always is equal to 0. Some elements in the closed path will absorb energy and some will deliver energy. Okay, so usually the sources will independent sources will deliver, or active element will deliver energy, and passive element will absorb or consume energy. So, this law we can explain. This is, suppose we have three resistance R1, R2 and R3, and we have voltage source. Let it is connected. Let a voltage source V is connected. Okay, then this is V1, V2, V3, and we are moving along this direction. This is the direction of current. Since this is series connection, so the current I will flow through all the elements. Now this V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. The polarity is become along the moving the direction of current. So current flows from higher potential to lower potential. This become plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. So V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This is equal to V1 is equal to I into R1 plus V2 is equal to I into R2 plus V3 is equal to I into R3. So this is equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now we can represent the circuit by an equivalent circuit having the resistance is equal to the equivalent of these three. This is denoted by R equivalent. And again we have the voltage source is applied. Voltage source is applied here. Now V is equal to, this is the current I into R equivalent. Now comparing these two equations, we get R equivalent, that is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. So when resistance are connected in series, the equivalent resistance is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Consider a circuit. Let this be 5 ampere, 5 ohm, 5 ohm, dependent current source. The value of current is given as 4 I1. This current is given as I1 and this current is given as I2. Okay. Find I1 and I2. Choices are given. I1 is equal to 10 ampere, I2 is equal to 5 ampere, and B, I1 is equal to minus 2.5 ampere and I2 is equal to minus 2 ampere. And option C is I1 is equal to 2.5 ampere and I2 is equal to 5 ampere. And option D is I1 is equal to 2.5 ampere and I2 is equal to minus 5 ampere. Okay. Since this point and this point are the same point, here there is no circuit elements. So we can redraw the circuit as this is our 5 ampere current. Then this both represents the same node A. Okay. And we have a dependent current source here. Now the value of this current is 4I1. This is I1 and I2. Let the potential at this point be VA. Then I1 is equal to, I1 is a current through this branch. This is a zero potential. So I1 is equal to this potential divided by this resistance. The value of the resistance is 5 ohm and 5 ohm. Now I1 is equal to VA minus 0. This is a zero potential divided by 5. That is equal to VA by 5 and I2 is equal to, these are parallel connection, parallel branches. VA divided by 5. Now applying Kirchhoff's current law at this node A. That means apply KCL at node A. That says that the incoming current is 5, incoming current is 4I1 and outgoing current is I1 and I2. So we can write incoming current, that is 5 plus 4I1 is equal to outgoing current, that is I1 plus I2, or this is equal to 5 plus 3I1 is equal to I2. We can write I1 is equal to VA by 5. So this becomes 5 plus 3 times VA by 5, that is equal to I2. I2 is VA by 5. This implies 5 is equal to minus 2 VA by 5, or VA is equal to minus 25 by 2, that is equal to minus 12.5 volt. This is VA. Therefore, I1 is equal to VA by 5. VA is minus 12.5. Therefore, I1 is equal to minus 12.5 divided by 5. That is equal to minus 2.5 ampere. And similarly, I2 is equal to minus 12.5 by 5. That is equal to minus 2.5 ampere. So the answer is option B. Consider the inductance in series. Let this be 3 inductance that is connected in series, and the voltage applied is V. Now let the values be L1, L2, L3, V1, V2, V3. Now we want to find the equivalent inductance when inductance are connected in series. Now apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This is the direction of current. Now we know that voltage across an inductor is equal to L di by dt. Since this is series connection, current is same through all inductors. So this is equal to V1 is equal to L1 di by dt plus L2 into di by dt plus L3 into di by dt. That is equal to V. Suppose this is replaced by an equivalent inductance. Equivalent inductance L equivalent. Let this is the voltage applied. So V is equal to L equivalent into di by dt. Okay, now we can write this is equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3 into di by dt. That is our V. That is equal to L equivalent into di by dt. So L equivalent is equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3. L equivalent is equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3. Okay, consider capacitance in series. 3 capacitors C1, C2, C3 are connected in series. Let the voltage of V is applied across the terminal. Let this voltage be V1, V2 and V3 and current be I of it. Now we know that current through a capacitor I is equal to C dV by dt, or we can write the voltage across the capacitor is equal to 1 by C integral I dt. Since the series connection, current passing through each capacitance are same. So we can write V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Suppose we have n number of capacitance, then we can write this is equal to up to Vn. Now V1 is equal to 1 by C1 into integral I dt plus 1 by C2 into integral I dt up to plus 1 by Cn into integral I dt. So this is replaced by an equivalent capacitance or equivalent value, that is equal to C equivalent, and the same voltage is applied across the equivalent capacitance. So V is equal to 1 by C equivalent into integral, this is the current I of t dt. Now comparing these two equations, this equation we can write as 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 up to 1 by Cn whole multiplied by 1 integral I of t dt that is equal to 1 by C equivalent multiplied by integral I of t dt. So comparing these equations, we get 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 up to 1 by Cn, that is equal to 1 by C equivalent. Okay, suppose we have only two capacitance, then we can write 1 by C equivalent is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. That is equal to C1 plus C2 divided by C1 C2, that is 1 by C equivalent. Or C equivalent is equal to C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2. So this is an equivalent capacitance. Now let us discuss about the resistance in parallel. Suppose we have resistance in parallel, n number of resistance. Okay, this is R1, R2, R3 up to Rn, and all here there are resistance. Let I be the current coming through this combination, that is I, the current. We have a current source having current I. Now what is the value of equivalent resistance? Let this current is I1, I2, I3 and IN. This is a parallel connection. So voltage across each resistance are equal or same. So we can write I is equal to, this I is divided into I1 plus I2 plus I3 up to IN. That is I1 plus I2 plus I3 up to IN. Or we can write, since voltage across each element are same due to parallel connection, so I1 can be written as V by R1 plus V by R2, I3 is V by R3 up to V by Rn, that is equal to I. Now suppose this is replaced by an equivalent resistance having value R equivalent. So this is equivalent to a single resistance having the value R equivalent. Okay, then V is equal to I into R equivalent. So we can write this I is equal to V by R equivalent, or V by R equivalent is equal to, we can be taken outside, V into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 up to 1 by Rn, or 1 by R equivalent, that is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 up to plus 1 by Rn. This is our 1 by R equivalent resistance. Suppose we have only two resistance, then the equivalent resistance is given by 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, that is equal to R1 plus R2 by R1, R2 is equal to 1 by R equivalent, or R equivalent is equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. This is the derivation. Now consider inductance connected in parallel. So we have consider inductance. Okay, two inductance connected in parallel. Let the current is I. So at this through L1 is the value of this inductance, L2, current be I1 and I2. Now I is equal to I1 plus I2, and current voltage across inductance can be written as L di by dt, or current is equal to 1 by L into integral V of L dt. So this I1 is equal to 1 by L1 into integral, since this is a parallel connection, voltage across each element are same. So this becomes integral V of t dt plus 1 by L2 integral V of t dt. If we have n number of inductance, then the summation up to 1 by Ln integral V of t dt. This is replaced by an equivalent inductance. Then we can write I of t is equal to 1 by L equivalent into integral V of t dt. So this is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 up to 1 by Ln. This whole into integral v of t dt. This is equal to 1 by L equivalent into integral v of t dt. Therefore, 1 by L equivalent is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 up to 1 by Ln. If two inductance are connected in parallel, then the equivalent value L equivalent is equal to L1 L2 divided by L1 plus L2. Okay, now consider two capacitors connected in parallel. This is capacitance C1 and C2. In general, we can connect n number of capacitance. And I is the current. Since this connection is parallel, voltage across each capacitance are same. Current through a capacitor I is equal to C dV by dt. So total current I is equal to I1 plus I2 up to IN. So this is equal to C1 into dV by dt plus C2 into dy by dt up to Cn into dV by dt, or is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 up to Cn whole into dV by dt, that is equal to the equivalent capacitance C equivalent into dV by dt. Therefore, C equivalent is equal to C1 plus C2 up to Cn. That is the sum of the individual capacitance. That is equal to the equivalent capacitance. Now, we have two capacitance, 4 farad and 6 farad. Suppose they are connected in parallel connections of these two capacitance, 4 farad and 6 farad. Then the equivalent capacitance C equivalent is equal to 4 plus 6, that is equal to 10 farad. And suppose this is connected in series, then equivalent capacitance is equal to 4 into 6 divided by 4 plus 6, that is equal to 24 divided by 10 is equal to 2.4 farad. So the effective value, the equivalent value of the capacitance is lower than the smallest value of the capacitance. Here, when connected in parallel, the equivalent capacitance is larger than the largest value in the capacitor. Largest value here is 6. The equivalent capacitor is greater than the 6. Here, the equivalent capacitor is less than the smallest value, that is called 4. Suppose we have two capacitance that is connected across a battery. Let the voltage of the battery is 10 volt. Let the value of the capacitance is 4 farad and 6 farad. Right. Now, what is the total stored energy? We know that stored energy, that is equal to half CV square. Okay. Now, C is the equivalent value of these two capacitance. For parallel connections, C equivalent, here it is C equivalent, that is equal to 4 plus 6, that is equal to 10 farad. Now, the stored energy E is equal to half into 10 into V here is 10 square. Since the parallel connection, voltage across each element is 10 volt. This is equal to half into 10 into 100. That is equal to 500 joule. So, for this problem, 500 of joule is stored in this capacitance. Now, suppose these capacitance are connected in series. Then what is the total energy stored? When these capacitance are connected in series, what happens? This is 4 and 6. Then the equivalent capacitance, E equivalent, is equal to 2.4 farad. Now stored energy is equal to half into 2.4 into 10 square. That is equal to 120 joule. So in series connection, the amount of stored energy is very much less than that of when this capacitance is connected in parallel. Our capacitance have equal value. Let 6 farad and 6 farad. This is connected across a 10 volt battery sources. So this is 6 farad and 6 farad. That is both the value, that means the value of both the capacitance are same. Then what is the energy stored? Here C equivalent, that is equal to 6 plus 6, that is equal to 12 farad. Now energy stored is equal to half into 12 into, this is 10 volt, into 10 square, that is equal to 6 into 100 is equal to 600 joules of energy is stored, total energy. Suppose this is connected in series. Then we have C effective capacitance is equal to 6 into 6 divided by 12. That is equal to 36 by 12 is equal to 3 farad. So stored energy E is equal to half into C into V square, which is 10 square. That is equal to half into 3 into 100. That is 300 by 2. That is equal to 150 joule. Only 150 joule of energy is stored when these capacitance are connected in series. Now what is the ratio of stored energy? Stored energy, that is E2, that is energy stored when connected in parallel. E1 is the energy stored when connected in series. This ratio is equal to 600 divided by 150. That is equal to 4. Current division rule. Current division rule. Suppose you have two resistance, R1 and R2. This is connected in parallel. Let I is the current, incoming current. At this node, I1 will go through this resistance and I2 will go through this resistance. Then we can prove that I1 is equal to I into the opposite resistance, that is R2 divided by R1 plus R2. And the current through R2, that is I2, that is equal to I divided by R1 plus R2 into the opposite resistance, that is R1. This is the current division rule. When then voltage division rule. Voltage division rule. If connected in parallel, voltage is same. So this rule is applicable when the resistance are connected in series. Let R1, R2 be the resistance connected. Let V is the voltage applied. Let this is the current be I1. This is plus or minus V1 volt. Across R2, let V2. Then we know that the current I is equal to V divided by R1 plus R2. So voltage across resistance R1, that is V1 is equal to I into this R1. So this is equal to V divided by R1 plus R2. This is multiplied by our own resistance, its own resistance. Here in current division rule, this is multiplied by the opposite resistance. Okay. Here this term is multiplied by the same value of the resistance. Now V2, similarly V2 is equal to V divided by R1 plus R2 into R2. Okay. If suppose inductance are connected in series, L1, L2, plus minus V1 plus minus V2. Then V is the voltage applied. Then V1, since L equivalent is equal to L1 plus L2. This is similar, same as that of in the case of resistance when connected in series. Now V1 is equal to V divided by L1 plus L2 into L1, and V2 is equal to V divided by L1 plus L2 into L2. This is same as that of the answer obtained in the case of resistance. When suppose capacitance are connected in series, let V be the applied voltage, C1 and C2. Let the voltage is V1 and V2. And C equivalent capacitance is equal to C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2. So the voltage division, or the voltage across the capacitance C1, that is equal to V1 is equal to V divided by C1 plus C2 into the opposite resistor, into the other value of the resistor, that is into C2. This much volt is the energy stored in C1. That means the thing is V by C1 plus C2 into the value of other resistance. Now, V2 is equal to V divided by C1 plus C2 into C1. Okay. So, in the case of resistance, if V by R1 plus R2, that is a constant. If R1 is large, the voltage across this resistance is higher. And if in this inductance case also, if L1 is large, then the voltage across this inductance is large. But in the case of capacitance, if the C1 is large, then the voltage across V2 is higher. If C2 is large, then the voltage across C1 is higher. So in the case of inductance and resistance, the voltage division rule, voltage is higher when the value of the corresponding inductance or resistance is high. But in the case of capacitance, the voltage across that element is higher when its value is small. Now consider a circuit 5 resistance Fi, 1, and we have another 2 resistance and a voltage source 1 ohm and 2 ohm, and voltage is 50 volt. Then power dissipated in the circuit, and choice are given A, B, C, D. 100 watts, 150 watts, 200 watts and 250 watts. Okay. Now, this all resistance are connected in series. So, R equivalent, that is equal to 5 plus 2 plus 8. 2 plus 1, 8 plus 1, 10 ohm. And current I is equal to 50 divided by 10, that is equal to 5 ampere. Is equal to I square R, that is equal to 5 square into equivalent resistance 10, that is equal to 25 into 10 is equal to 250 watts. So answer is D. Or we can prove the power dissipated is equal to V square by R. Here V is 50. That is 50 square divided by equivalent resistance is 10. That is 2500 divided by 10. That again is equal to 250 watts. Okay. In the next class we can discuss about problem based on KCL and KVL. That is by using nodal analysis and mesh analysis. Okay, thank you.